Hi, this is Matt McLean, and welcome to Music 5, Music Fundamentals at Solano Community College. So for this class, we're going to be using two web resources. The primary one is our Canvas course management system, and the second one is going to be required e-textbook, a required companion for the class. So you're going to have to purchase and log into that as well. So let's get into the primary one first, which is our Canvas. And once you get into the main page for the class, you're going to see initially a welcome letter with a link to this video here and the syllabus and some notes about the deadlines in the first week of the class. And then down below I have the class schedule. And this is all the weeks of the class with links to all the assignments, discussion forums, quizzes, midterm, etc., etc. So you can always access that here. And then after the first week of class, I'm going to move this welcome letter down, and I will bump each individual week up to the top. So you can just, when you get in, if you're on a mobile device, you can see really quickly what you need to do that week. And then I keep this fairly stripped down, my Canvas shell. So I don't have modules. I use announcements very rarely to push important messages out. I usually just use the message function within Canvas here. So I can send out individual messages, or if I need to send out something important to the whole class, I'll usually do it that way. And then there's a link to assignments here, and everything that you need to do for the class is in here. So the creative project, all of the quizzes, the midterm, the final practice tests, and discussion forums. So you can see all the deadlines in here. Some of these, like the quizzes, they actually you need to link out to the required companion e-text, and I'll get to that in a second. Discussion forums are going to be done right here in Canvas, and then you can get into the gradebook, other people in the class, and then the syllabus. So I'll always have a link to the syllabus posted there. It's going to be a Word document, and then it's always going to be here in my welcome message here on the main page as well. So that is the basic overview of Canvas here. And you might note that some of these dates might change if you're in a future semester or session of this class. Let's see. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to hide this, get into the required e-textbook. So I'm going to be using a book by connectforeducation.com, and Connect for Education is the publisher. So you can get this textbook two different ways. The first way that I recommend is going directly to the publisher's website. Here you can see the URL, and I have links to this in the syllabus with detailed instructions. And then it's a three-step process to log in. You're going to go to the student link, you purchase it, you register it, and then you log in. And the second way that you can get the textbook is you can skip the purchasing from this website step and buy it from our campus bookstore. But I don't necessarily recommend doing that if you can avoid it, because it is substantially more expensive if you go that path. So you can save some money if you go right here to connectforeducation.com and buy it. It's just like buying something on Amazon. Use a credit card or PayPal. So the first step here is to purchase it. And if you do go to the bookstore, they have access codes behind the counter. But let's pretend we're going to do it the easy way here and purchase it online. So you go to purchase, and the textbook, they have a bunch of different textbooks. This is sort of the industry standard for music textbooks, e-textbooks, and a lot of people use them for in-person classes as well. So I'm going to be using On Music Fundamentals, because this is a music fundamentals class, the 3rd edition. Don't use the Blackboard one. So we're going to pick this one here. You add it to your cart. You can view the cart, and then you go to checkout, and that's where you put in your name, and the critical thing is your email address, because once you buy it, they are going to send you an access code. And once you get the access code, you're going to go to the second step. And notice that these little drop downs shifted because it knows what step I need to go to. The next. So the next thing to do is register it. And this is a really critical step. This is the one, if you do go to the campus bookstore, this is where you're going to register your access code. And if you've bought it online, and you're going to go into your email, and they're going to send you an access code, so you can copy and paste it in here. But once you pass this step here, you are going to pass the point of no return. So you need to make a commitment to stay in the class, because you won't get a refund after you register your code. So I know things come up in the first week of class, you might have to drop it. And if you do, just make sure you don't register the textbook. Okay, so now here we're going to go to a school. You can see there are tons of schools across the country that use this textbook. It's a great textbook. And we're going to go down to Solano, somewhere down here. Solano, select the instructor. You can see me, Matt McLean, the semester. Now, some of these dates might be different if you're in a future version of the class. But as I add new shells, those options will pop up there. And then pick the class, Music 5. And then this is down below. You're going to see where you enter your access code here. It's easy to just copy and paste it in. Use your login name. You can pick anything confidential. I recommend just using your Solano Canvas login name and password. That makes things a lot easier. But you can do whatever you'd like. And then complete this form. And then once you hit submit registration at the end, then you will be registered for the class, and you'll be able to go to the next step, which is to log in to the class. So when you go to log in, then you're going to select the school again. And there's actually an easier way to do this once you get through the first time. I'm just going to show you. So same thing, where you have to pick the school and the instructor. Solano, here's me, class, sorry, the term, and then the class. And then when you hit continue, it'll take you into the class. The other thing to do is use c4elink.org. And if you use this URL, I recommend bookmarking this one. It'll save you a step, and you won't have to pick the school every single time you log in. And if you bookmark it, then you just put in your username and password, and you'll be right into the textbook. So I have that pulled up on another screen here. And when you log in, it'll probably look something like this. I'm still in the process of updating a few things over here. But you can see every week in the class here. The key options here that you want to check out are open all and close all. So if you open everything up, then you can see all the content. And each of these pages are individual pages within the textbook. There are links to every quiz and all of the practice work. So for this class, I have a lot of practice exercises. Anything that says practice or exercise, you won't be graded on it. You might see a grade, so it provides feedback so you know how you're doing. And a lot of these you can attempt multiple times. But in terms of grading, I'm going to be doing like an all or nothing thing where you have to get in and try them. But as long as you get in and try each week, try all the practice material, you'll get full marks. And if you miss a few, then you'll start to see your grade go down. But 20% of the grade at this point is in the practice exercises. So I recommend, it's an easy way to bolster your grade. Get in and just make sure you attempt all of them. You can do them once if you're pinched for time, but I recommend doing them until you get your score up. And then all of the regular quizzes are in here as well, and the midterm, the final, etc., etc. So you can see everything right here, and all this is basically referenced back on the Canvas page as well. So which quizzes are due which week, etc., etc. And then here's an important page right up at the top, the course preamble, which has links to software and hardware requirements. There's a link to technical support as well. If you ever get lost, you can go back here to the main page for the class, and it'll take you back to that the class schedule there. And then when you get into the textbook here, there's a section overview and outline objectives for each section, and then the reading, the actual music content starts right here. And this is what the textbook looks like. And there's a lot of interactive things like this, where you can play pianos and hear notes, and Every page has a new fun little thing to engage yourself with. And then up at the top, there's some drop downs here too. So you can actually listen to this lecture here, this written part of the lecture. There are some show me options, which will it's sort of like a little video walkthrough of different musical things. And there's some keywords. The keywords are for the entire textbook. The show me ones are for each section. I'm not going to be using the collaborate function for this class. There are also discover video links. So there are links to YouTube videos that they have pulled in here that they think help fill out the material. And then the download center has access to if you need staff paper or I think the lectures, you can actually download MP3s of the lectures there. Okay, so we go back to the main page here. And the critical thing is in the first week of the class, check the deadline and the syllabus, but you need to log into Canvas, you need to register and log in to the textbook here, or you may be dropped as a no-show. So I want to point out one more thing over here back in Canvas for the class, and that is that each week I have links to my own class lectures. So keep your eyes on these. I'll let you know if I have to make any modifications. Sometimes things come up in the news and I'll like to keep things current and I might update a lecture, but I'll always alert people if something comes up. But I definitely want you to download these, and this is my own personal take on the material. So sometimes it helps to look my lectures over first before you dive into the required e-text and start doing some of the work. So the class starts fairly slowly, and then it builds on top of the material. So it's important to make sure you have a solid foundation in the beginning. And that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message over here, and I should get back to you fairly shortly. So, all right, I look forward to having you in the class here, and let's get started.